that God gives us, the gifts of nature that are there for our
that are
enjoyment.
there for our
And in a sense, there's nothing better for us than a walk in nature. So it can cure sometimes the worst ills that trouble you as long as you just hang in there and stay tuned in to the nuances of your body. Stay tuned um, to the changes that you can experience by being in a space, just getting out of the old space that you're in and coming into a new space. Hopefulness can come back into your life. It's not entirely unreachable for even those who are in the grips of despair. It was very, very interesting because in one of my last Course in Miracles sessions at Sacred Circle in Old Town Alexandria, we had a gal that came in, and I think she identified herself as being 72 years old. And she came back a couple times and she told us the second time that she came, because it's a session that happens once a month. She said that this was the first time in her life that she did not feel depressed. It was only through her listening to a 45-minute, well, I'm sorry, I take that back. It wasn't 45 minutes, it was an hour and 45 minutes um, session that wasn't, there was nothing dramatic that was shared. There was nothing uh, really that so far out that was so outrageous that was shared, but whatever was shared that day really spoke to her heart. And she was able to go back, leave the session, and just say that I have been free of the pain that has gripped me my entire life. I just was very, very glad for her and very proud of the fact that it came through the study of A Course in Miracles. So I just feel that, and interestingly enough, I know this is a copy of my book, Own Your Power Day by Day. When it first came out on Amazon, when I looked at who was purchasing it, one of the things that was on there was that people who were interested in uh, A Course in Miracles were also purchasing uh, Own Your Power. And the foundation of my spiritual belief is from A Course in Miracles. So it just became just such a beautiful joy to me to think that this study of A Course in Miracles was enough to lift depression in a woman who said that it had followed her for 72 years of her life, or as far back as she could remember. So, anyway, I do invite you to ask for either a past life or a spiritual reading. If you have a spiritual reading, I can probably get to the heart of the matter faster if you give me a topic that you like, a sentence or a topic that you have that has been puzzling you. So I absolutely love doing this work. I'm very grateful to the audience members that are out there and are willing to partake in this. And I do invite you to join in and become a part of this. So, all right, we have Champagne
Candango.
Condego with Angel
Mhm.
Ramirez. And Champagne, I presume, is this is a past life reading that you want with them. Because please specify if it's a past life or a spiritual reading.
Past life.
Past life. Okay, so I'm just going to tune into both of you. Karina, would you shut the door? Okay. This is kind of interesting. 3 lives came in. So I'm going to go with the last one because it seemed to be the strongest. This is a life in Scotland. And this is a life of tremendous turmoil. Campagna, you asked for your life first. So you came in as a male in that lifetime, and Angel in this lifetime was a female. And you were married. But the what was happening to you is that this was a life where there was tremendous turmoil with the British. And the British were abusing power in a very, very big way. And it felt like you were hunted. I don't know exactly the circumstances of why you were a hunted man, but somehow or other, you must have crossed the paths of somebody who became horrendously offended by what you did. And so you're kind of on the lam, you're running away. You are being hidden by the villages, the villagers that you come through in all the small little hamlets and villages, and nobody will betray you. It doesn't matter who how far away you are from your home. You're not going to be given away, but I'm only seeing a small slice of this lifetime, and it just feels like you're being um, chased, you're being pursued, and you are victims of a place that and a time where you simply crossed, I don't know if it's religious boundaries or whether it's financial boundaries. The sense that I have has something to do with land, that it could be that the British uh, lords came looking for some kind of payment and you refused to give it to them or said there wasn't any, something to that effect. So uh, you're um, you're running, you're in hiding. So that's what I'm getting for you. And like I said, that was the third lifetime. The other two just came in just like a second's flash, and it was a lifetime in Amish country. Uh, and again, you were male in that lifetime, and the second one was kind of could have been somewhere out west because I saw huge pine trees and I saw again a life of isolation and loneliness in that lifetime.
She say that, wow, I have had dreams of being chased, really serious dreams.
Interesting. Okay, Champagne said that she has had dreams of being chased, very, very serious dreams. Well, that was absolutely correct. You had very a lot of people chasing you. So, anyway, all right. Charmian Howard, spiritual and karmic for Charmin. All right. Charmian. Um, and Charmian, I'm going to tune into you. All right. The sense that I have with you is that you are being asked to do something with your spiritual path, in your spiritual path. Um, I'm not getting any karmic avenue for it, but in your spiritual path, the you're not really you don't have much clarity on it yet. You get the sense that something is being asked of you, but you don't know what. You don't know how to, let's say, perform your spiritual message, mission, if you really are unclear about what is it that I'm supposed to be doing. And the sense that I have with you is keep looking at every single thing that crosses your path. Keep looking for messages, whether it's a license plate, whether it's an animal, a reptile, an insect, whether it's a phase of a moon, whether it's a feeling, a sensation, a tune that comes in. Just every single time that you hear something that kind of makes you feel like the hairs on your hand are standing on edge, or that there's tingles going through your body, or that pay attention, this is important. Whatever it is, stop and ask, what is are you wanting me to know from this? You There is a part of you that feels like you have to pay back for something that you did. And I I'm going to give you a different twist on that. I feel that whatever it is that you did in order to get the experience of it so that you could learn to help others that are caught in the same trap. So it was like, okay, well, if I become the rapist, because this is the image I'm sorry, this is the message that's being given to me. If I become the rapist in one lifetime, then I can help rape victims in the next lifetime. Or if I'm being raped in one lifetime, I can help and counsel rape victims. So it's like you catch the opposite thread of what it is, and you do not have to feel guilty for any single thing that you chose to do simply because we come here to play a role. And in playing that role, sometimes it's a positive role, sometimes it's a negative role, sometimes it's for the good, sometimes it's for what we judge in our society as bad. So you just come in here for that. So do not chide yourself. But I hope that has helped in your path. And just give Karina some messages. Thank you. And this is Karina Infante with Alfonso Amaro. And I'm presuming this is a past life rather than a spiritual life.
Check again. Past life for me and my husband, Alfonso Amaro.
Amaro. Okay, Karina Infante. And I'm going to tune into you. All right. Instantly, I was taken to either Spain or a Spanish colony or household in South America. I see, I asked for you first. I see you as a beautiful, absolutely exquisite person who is on stage. And I think your talent is both singing and dancing. And you have, he is one of the persons that employs you. So he basically um, is not married to you. He falls in love with you, but being the having the macho type of characteristic that he has, he demands fidelity. And unfortunately, you are a person, probably due to both your talent and your beauty, that in that lifetime, you could not promise him that you would be 100% faithful to him, and therefore you would not agree to marry him because you knew that fidelity was an extremely important issue for him. This is not something that he could compromise on, that he would just say, "Oh, well, yes, that's okay, I forgive you." That would not happen. So, then and I think you both, I'm not sure that he didn't feel even till the end that he could win you over. But I feel that you resisted his advances because the allure of all the men in your life was just too great. You had men just throwing themselves at you simply because you had such talent, such fame, such beauty, that you could just about, get anybody that you wanted. I'm not really certain that you settled down with anybody. I think you maintained your independence in that lifetime. You maintained the fact that you were going to um, stay single and just stay in a place where you knew you could live life on your terms. So you were really a very, very strong person. And you had, not that he was weak, he wasn't weak by any stretch of the imagination, but you had certain boundaries that you set up for yourself that you weren't going to cross. So, um, again, I'd be just curious to see how that has played out in this lifetime. So, give Karina some feedback on that. All right. And now I have Lisa Sullivan, past life in Rome with Brian, Life and Love in Rome with Brian Surgeon. Okay, past life in Rome with Brian Surgeon, Lisa Sullivan. All right, let me tune into you. Hmm. All right, a little bit on, well, not going to say it's unusual, but uh, the I saw you, and it absolutely did not look like Rome. So I asked where you were from, and it felt more like um, the Middle East. It could have actually been Jerusalem, but you were conquered by the Roman, and you were taken as a slave. And I saw you in a village and with a huge water, having a huge water jug over your head. And then the Romans came in, overran the village, and then just took the inhabitants. And then you were taken as the slave to his household. And then he used you as one of the people that basically he had sex with. Um, I'm not I really don't see his wife in this compound, and I do know that you're not married to him, and but you are being, again, you have lovely features, you have very exotic looking face, you have very deep eyes, very, very deep set, beautiful eyes, you have an olive colored skin, and, very, just exquisitely formed face. So, he falls in love with you in a very big way, but you're also a slave. So, under no circumstance would he compromise his status and elevate you to any position other than what he was. But he did treat you very, very well. He treated you very gently, and but like I said, you were also meant to serve his sexual needs. So um, again, just give Karina some feedback on that.
Sherman Howard Fletcher say, "Thank you. Yes, I realize I have spiritual gifts." Okay, that was his comment. And Karina Infante say, "Thank you so much."
Okay,
Okay.
great. And I think you all heard that. So, all right. Cassie Ogden, we need to move. Any thoughts? And all right, Cassie, again, I'm going to tune into you. The words that I keep hearing for you are new beginnings. There's going to be something in this move that's going to be very powerful for you. There's a certain the two words that come forward for me right now. There's a like a complacency and a stagnation in the place, and I don't know. The sense that I have is that it's both mental and physical. So that the fact that that you need to move is going to give you a fresh start. And you're going to have a way of taking whatever resistance you have from this move and turning it into a positive. Your own spirit guides and your angels are gonna are have been there with you, kind of helping you because there's a part of you that's very, very sad over this move, at least the way I'm seeing it, and that where you just don't want to go. Uh, and it could have something to do with the friends that you've accumulated around you, but you have a certain vibrancy in your personality, and you have a certain way of gathering new people around you. So I think that once you grieve the passage, the leaving of the old, and once you finish and allow yourself to grieve that, because the there's no point in us stuffing back our emotions into our energy field because those emotions are alive and eventually they have to come out, and then they can come out in very inappropriate ways. So you just really have to allow yourself the right to grieve the way you want to, but then just know that there's really a new adventure awaiting you, and you're going to find the benefits from the place that you move to. It could be that the stores, the services, the people around you are just going to be um, very much to your liking eventually. Give them a chance. Okay. So, Cassie, I hope that has helped. And Lucia. Okay. Lucia Pop. Hello, Lucia. I need clarity with my role in this lifetime. I'm going to tune into you. Okay, Lucia, this is what I'm hearing. You are a giver. You have always been a giver. There's nothing inside of you that feels um, put upon when you do give to others. And if I am not mistaken, I think, Lucia, you can validate it with Karina, but I think you are a nurse or you're in the nursing profession. So that's automatic that you would never have accepted that profession. Um, what I'm seeing for you, what I'm hearing for you, is that you could rely a little bit more on your spiritual gifts and share them with others. Find a way to say the things that you need to say when people talk to you and give you raise some of their fears, raise some of their objections, raise some of the issues that are um, that they're kind of plagued with, and effectively you could just stop dead in your tracks and just say, what should I tell them? You know, and listen. Or and you can say that within a split second. You could, just even put up a symbol of a question mark in your mind when you hear what the other person says, to in order for you to give them an answer to their request or their question or everything, and give them an answer that has a spiritual bent. The other thing that I see for you is you have to learn to trust more what you get from spirit, because when you doubt what you get, it's like rocking back and forth. You get something, you doubt it, you're put back to the starting point. You get something else, you doubt it, you're put back to the starting point. So you're just basically rocking back and forth. So versus you get something, you accept it, you pass it on, and then you start at that place, and then you get something, you accept it, you pass it on, and you start at that place. So you get to move forward a lot faster when you don't doubt. Let's see if there's anything else that they want to tell you. I know most people typically do not have much time, but what they're saying is they're asking you to do two things. They want you to journal for 15 minutes a day, and they want you to read spiritual material for 15 minutes a day. So if you're not already doing that, that alone is going to give you a uh, like a jump start on your day, because if you can do it first thing in the morning. The other thing that I just heard now too was the fact that every single time, because there are times during the day that you feel very rushed and it's like you can barely catch your breath. So every single time that happens, go into a deep breathing exercise. Get to a place where you can say, where you can inhale to the count of 4, exhale to the count of 4, inhale to the count of 4, exhale to the count of 4. Inhale to the count of 4, exhale to the count of 4. Do a round of 3 and see if that isn't enough to bring you back to homeostasis, bring you back to a place of just stability for you. So try that. And if I think of anything else, I certainly will get back to you. But for right now, that's what's come in for you. And I thank you so much for your question. Okay. And now we have Victoria Fulgens, past life. Okay. And Victoria, I'm going to tune into you. Very interesting. This time I'm on the, well, this is not how it started. This is not the first image I got. But the first image I got was the head of John the Baptist on the platter with Delilah, holding it because she did the dance of the seven veils, I guess, for Herod. And he told her she could have whatever she wanted. And she said she wanted the head of John the Baptist. So the question I asked was, are you an aspect of us, the soul of John the Baptist, or an aspect of the soul of Delilah? And I heard neither, that you were a disciple of John the Baptist, that you were a follower of him. And then I was taken to the banks of the Sea of Galilee where John the Baptist had his ministry. That's where he baptized Jesus. And so you were one of the people that followed him, and it was a very quiet life, and it was a life filled with contemplation. Uh, you used him as the kind of like almost like the Messiah in your life because everything that he said, he was very close to Jesus, and everything that he said, you just felt inside your heart. That was the word of God. Um, I'm going to see if I can't get another life and just see if anything else will come in. This is interesting. Uh, Very different, but I know it's absolutely possible. I'm in a forest and uh, very lush evergreens, and there's undergrowth because there's evergreens mixed with deciduous, mixed with bushes, mixed with shrubbery, mixed with grasses. So it feels almost like a new forest rather than an ancient forest. And the sense that I have with you is that you're a little child and you live in a cabin at the end. In this case, it's a little boy. And you live in a cabin kind of at the edge of the woods to a family who has a very humble existence, but a very kind one. And could be Germany, could be at the edge of the Black Forest. Don't know, but I know you're right on the edge. But you go into the forest and you play with the fairies. You have the ability to see fairies, and they are your playmates. You're an only child. Um, you don't have anybody else to play with, and I see you around the age of somewhere between 5 and 8. Uh, don't really see you after that. but you have a glorious time just being enjoying every single thing that comes towards you. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's of the David Kingdom, which the pixies, the brownies, the fairies, the trolls, the ogres, the elves, all are part of that, the gnomes, or whether it's the animals, especially the smaller animals like little rodents, little mice, chipmunks, bunnies. They all seem to find a way to be with you because they immediately sense that they don't have to be afraid of you, number one. And the other thing that I see with you is that you're finding a way to communicate with the animals, because you got, like I said, you use them as playmates. So you are absolutely having a beautiful opening with them and a beautiful, almost like not a tea party because you don't, there's no drinking or food involved, but you make up little stories with them, and you, almost in the way that Beatrix Potter made up all her animals into stories. So, my take on that is that this is a lifetime of wonderful, because you had spiritual sight, of wonderful imagination. And I think the reason I'm being shown this is that you can tap into that lifetime to help you in this lifetime. I don't know if you have the hopes of bringing a book about fairies into existence. Again, you can leave Karina a note, and but it seems to me like whatever it is that you want to do, if it has to do with the, natural kingdom or with the David kingdom, it's totally, uh, it totally works for you. So anyway, okay, all right, and we have is I just, again, wanted to share with you that we have my book. It's on special for the entire month of December. The hard copy is available at the same price as the softcover, which is $25.99, and it's free shipping. So you can go to my website, www.aliciajones.com, and get a put an order in. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Also remind your followers that you work also in Sacred Circle on Wednesday for past life readings. And
Yes. Oh, and this is, yeah, Karina just reminded me too that besides working from my home as a healer and as a spiritual teacher, and the offering readings, spiritual and past life readings, I also work at Sacred Circle at 919 King Street in Alexandria, Virginia. And so that anybody that is interested can come there if that's more convenient. So, or you can come here to my home, and we will, uh, again, if you go on my website, my fees are all there. They're the same, whether they're at my house or whether they're at the store. And so I think we're going to wrap up now. I wish you a wonderful holiday and give you the best that is available. Hope that you receive just tremendous gifts, and invite you for our next Facebook Live, which will be the third Monday in January, which I didn't check the date. So I know it's kind of around the 18th or something like that. So, anyway, but we will see you next month. Thank you.